What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for probably my favorite series to record on the channel, and actually the viewers' favorite as well, some might say, the Champions League predictions. This time it is week 4, and before I get into that, I just want to say I had a really good week for week 3. If I actually double chanced every single game in the Champions League for week 3 with my predictions, then I would have got them all right. So a good week nonetheless. Only one actual correct score. That was the Bayern Munich Athens game. I predicted 2-0, but others were very, very close. A lot of correct results, but just slightly off on the scoreline. But anyway, this is week 4 for the Champions League predictions. Now, if you want to get involved with this video, then be sure to leave your predictions down in the comments below, because I love reading them every single week. And with Champions League, it's bigger than the Premier League. It's bigger than the other videos that I do. This is big, and it's finally past the halfway point now, week 4. So we're starting to see the groups take shape, and obviously starting to see who we could see in the round of 16, the knockouts and all that stuff. So it's getting very excited. So let's get straight into it with the predictions. Coming up first, this is the reverse fixture of the week 3 fixtures. So we've seen these two teams play last time out, so and I did well then, so let's see how we do now. The first game, Monaco against Club Brugge. Now, last time these two met, they finished 1-1, and I predicted a 1-0 win to Club Brugge. This time I'm reversing that. I'm predicting a 1-0 win to Monaco. Monaco's home form is a lot better, and although they're not having the best season at all, I definitely think Monaco should be able to get the points from Club Brugge here. Coming up next, we have Red Star Belgrade against Liverpool. Liverpool, obviously, they smashed them at Anfield. They beat them 4-0. I predicted a 4-1 win there. This is going to be slightly different. This is at Red Star Belgrade. It's going to be a very different atmosphere, and they're going to make it difficult. I still, of course, think Liverpool are going to win and get the 3 points and stay at the top of what is looking to be the toughest group to call in the Champions League. I'm going with a 3-1 Liverpool win. So just like last week, just taking a goal off for Red Star Belgrade's sake. The next game, Atletico Madrid against Borussia Dortmund. I correctly predicted that Dortmund would beat Atletico Madrid last time out, but I did not correctly predict the margin in which they would. I predicted a 1-goal winning margin. They won 4-0. Borussia Dortmund are definitely a force to be reckoned with. They are the dark horse, the standout team, not only in the Bundesliga, but also in the Champions League. And Atletico Madrid, they are a really good team. I think Diego Costa is fully fit for the game. They've obviously got Antoine Griezmann. They've got very good players, but Borussia Dortmund are in such good form. It seems like nothing can stop them. So, I'm going to go with a 2-2. I think it's going to be more goals, but I think with Atletico Madrid at home, they're going to have more of a say in the game and the result. Rather than it being 4-0, I'm going with 4 goals, 2 for each team, leaving Dortmund, I'm pretty sure, with guaranteed qualification. If Dortmund draw this game, they'll be on 10 points, and Club Brugge and Monaco will be nowhere near them. So I think it is pretty much guaranteed qualification if Dortmund don't lose this game, which is pretty damn crazy. The next game, Porto versus Lokomotiv Moscow. Last time, Porto won. They won 3-1. I predicted Porto would win 2-0. So the right goal winning margin, but not the right scoreline. I'm going with 3-0. A 3-0 home win to Porto to put them on, I think, 10 points. Not guaranteeing them to qualify, but getting them that one step closer, because Porto are definitely looking the strongest in their group. So yeah, 3-0 to Porto. The next game, Inter Milan against Barcelona. I'm pretty sure Messi's probably still out of the squad, but Barcelona pulled off an insane comeback at the weekend. They were 2-1 down with like 3 minutes to go, I think, against one of the bottom of the league teams in La Liga, and they scored 2 goals in 3 minutes and won the game 3-2. It was absolutely crazy. And, you know, without Messi, obviously Luis Suarez is being able to perform at top levels, and Inter Milan, they are good, they're decent, but I'm going to go with a Barcelona scrape 2-1 away win to Barcelona. But if this one comes up as a draw, I wouldn't be surprised. Now, this next game is definitely, you can't tell me otherwise, it is the biggest game of week 4 because of the teams involved and how close the group and how undecided the group is. Napoli versus PSG. Now, Paris Saint-Germain managed to secure a draw in their last meeting with Angel Di Maria scoring that late goal for them, making it 2-2. Now, for this one, I'm going to go with PSG 2 and Napoli 1. Here's the thing. If Napoli win this game, PSG are basically out of the competition, okay? Because Liverpool are on 6 points, Napoli are on 5, and PSG are on 4. If Napoli win, they go to 8 points, and PSG will be on 4, obviously. If Liverpool win against Red Star Belgrade, which they most likely will, they'll be on 9. So it'll be 9, 8, and 4. PSG will have to beat Liverpool and Red Star Belgrade, which they'd be expected to do. You know, Red Star Belgrade, I think, away and Liverpool at home. They should win those 2 games. that would put them on 10 points. But Liverpool's on 9 and Napoli's on 8. So all Napoli need to do is beat Red Star Belgrade, which they should do. And all Liverpool need to do is just get like a point from Napoli, which they should also do. So if PSG lose this game, the chance of them qualifying is very, very low. And because of that, because how bad they want it, and their squad is better than Napoli's. Napoli are good. They managed to get the 1-0 win against Liverpool, which was a shock. Liverpool managed to get the win against PSG, which was also a bit of a shock. I'm going with the PSG 2-1 win on the basis that they have world-class players and they basically have to win this game. If they win this game against Napoli, qualification looks pretty good for PSG. This game is the turning point for that group, and I'm going with PSG to win and eventually to qualify. Next game is Schalke versus Galatasaray. Now, last time out, they drew 0-0 after I predicted them a 1-1 finish. This time, I think it's going to be a little bit easier for Schalke at home. I'm going with another low-scoring game, a 1-0 win to Schalke. Not really much more to say about that. Moving on, we have Tottenham against PSV. Now, obviously, Hugo Lloris, I assume he won't be playing, be suspended because of his red card, but, you know, the goalkeeper, they should be fine with their second choice goalkeeper. I think Tottenham should win this game. They were unlucky to end up drawing that game with PSV 2-2, but obviously that was at PSV. I predicted a 2-1 win to Tottenham, so close but not quite right. I'm going with a 3-1 home win here. Tottenham should be able to get this win. They beat Wolves on the weekend 3-2, and it would have been 3-0 if the new defender didn't give away those 2 penalties in the second half. Tottenham, they're looking like they're getting back to their form, getting back to winning ways, and I think they are going to beat PSV here. Do I think they're going to qualify for the knockout stages? Probably not, but I do think they're going to finish third in the group, and the way they're going to do that is by beating PSV in this game. Okay, so moving on to the next day, it is going to kick off with CSKA Moscow versus Roma. Now, the last time these two met in the competition, Roma won 2-0. I predicted them to win 3-0. And I'm predicting Roma to win 2-0 again. Away from home, obviously, it is different. But I think Roma are another dark horse in this competition. They're very strong. Yes, they lost to Real Madrid 3-0. But apart from that game alone, Roma have been playing very, very well. And I do think Roma have enough to beat CSKA Moscow. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 win there. The following game, a very interesting one, Valencia against Young Boys. You couldn't separate the two teams. I predicted a Valencia 2 win last time out, and it was a 1-1 draw thanks to a Young Boys penalty in the second half. I think, obviously, Valencia are now playing at their home ground. It's a pitch they're used to. It's not an artificial pitch like the Young Boys play on. I'm going with a Valencia 2-1 win again. I think it's more likely to happen this time round, because I said in my previous video that if Young Boys are going to get anything from this group, it will be in that game against Valencia. And they did. They managed to get a point. But I see Valencia winning this one 2-1, possibly even more. But Valencia should definitely walk away with the 3 points. The next game, Bayern Munich against Athens. Obviously, Bayern Munich, they were 0-0 at half-time against Athens at their ground last time out, and then they won 2-0 with 2 goals in quick succession. Something that Bayern Munich definitely do quite well. I'm going with an even bigger win here, 3-0 to Bayern Munich, leaving Athens at the bottom of the group with no points and obviously out of the competition. The following game, Benfica against Ajax. I had Ajax last time to win 2-1 against Benfica, and they actually won 1-0 thanks to a late goal. It's going to be very difficult to separate these two teams. I think Ajax slightly have the edge in terms of form, but I do think it's going to end in a draw, and I'm going to go with 1-1 between Benfica and Ajax. Now, coming up, we have Juventus versus Manchester United. This is going to be an interesting one because Man United are starting to pick it up a bit. They went down 1-0 against Bournemouth and managed to get the 2-1 win thanks to a late goal by Marcus Rashford. Juventus, they're in good form. They're flying. They're winning games. They're doing very, very well. And this is at home at Juventus. It's going to be very tough. I think Man United would have liked to have played Juventus last time out at Old Trafford with the form that they've sort of picked up now, because I think since their loss to Juventus, they managed to get a win against Everton and Bournemouth, and those were decent wins for them. So I think it's unfortunate, but I just can't look past Juventus winning this. I'm going with a Juventus 3-1 scoreline again. That's what I predicted for the last round, but obviously it ended in only 1-0. But I don't think Juventus really shifted out of second gear in that game. They sort of got the goal, got the lead, and kind of shut up and let Man United make the mistakes and just held them to that 1-0. But I see Ronaldo shining here, and I think he's going to score 1 or 2 goals here. And it's going to be 3 goals Juventus, Man United 1. Now, coming up, we have a goal fest. That is Lyon against TSG Hoffenheim. Now, I couldn't separate these two teams at Hoffenheim. I predicted it would end 1-1. It actually ended 3-3. It was an absolutely crazy game to follow. Goals left, right, and centre. I think Hoffenheim were leading at one point. Lyon were leading at one point. One team grabbed it back, then another. I think Lyon were winning 1-0, then losing 2-1, then winning 3-2, and then it drew 3-3. So goals everywhere. Lyon, Hoffenheim attacking teams, and I'm going with a home win for Lyon. Obviously, they beat Manchester City, which was an amazing result for them. I'm going with a 3-2 home win to Lyon. Now, speaking of Manchester City, we have Manchester City against Shakhtar Donetsk. Now, last time I predicted 3-2 to Manchester City away at Shakhtar. Obviously, Shakhtar, the team beating Man City last year, and Man City just destroyed them, and it was a comfortable 3-0 here. And I think they are going to do very much the same. They are absolutely flying. They beat Southampton 6-1. Obviously, that could have been 7, 8, 9 goals in that game. And obviously, they beat Shakhtar 3-0 last time. I do think Shakhtar are good on the attack, and I think they are going to surprise City maybe on a counter. So I'm going with Manchester City 3 and Shakhtar Donetsk 1 for this fixture, keeping Manchester City at the top of the group. And if Lyon do beat Hoffenheim, it'll look like Manchester City and Lyon will go through, which was one of my predictions previously. And the final game, Viktoria Pilsen against Real Madrid. Real Madrid, you never know what you're going to get with them here. They're so up and down this season. I predicted a 3-0 home win to Real Madrid last time out, and they only won 2-1. So a very close game, but I think Real Madrid are going to step up. I think they're going to actually win by more away at Viktoria Pilsen. I know Pilsen have kind of struggled recently in terms of form, and I think against Real Madrid it's going to be very difficult for them. So I'm going with 3-1 for Real Madrid. So that is my predictions. Those are my predictions for the Champions League. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And if you did miss my first episode of Beat the Bookies, then you can go and watch that. I uploaded that on the channel a few days ago. And yeah, I'll probably be betting on some of these games using these predictions. So if you like some of these results and you want to add them to an accumulator yourself, then by all means take the ones you like and go from there. But either way, that is going to do it for this video. If you did enjoy it, be sure to leave a like on it, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss a single football related upload, and I will see you in the next video very soon.